Hey team, my 2-minute conviction today is about dealing with questions that you don't know the answers to. And it's as simple as making sure you always have a constructive response. I get asked questions all the time, often. I have no idea what the answer in the moment is. And it could be in a team meeting, it could be in job interviews, it could be in board meetings, it could be for you with the kids at the dinner table, and most of us feel uncomfortable not knowing the answers to questions, but I think it's actually more common than you realise. My conviction is, even when you don't know the answer, you want to have a constructive response. And so here's just a couple of things I do when it seems to me that I don't know the answer. Number one, I always ask for the question to be repeated, and not necessarily verbatim, but can you ask me that question a different way? Because often I hear things differently when it's phrased with new words, and it actually reveals to me that I do have the answer to the question when it's rephrased. Secondly, I ask often clarifying questions. It's okay to ask a question with a question, because what it's doing is it's helping me determine what does the person really want to know, even if they haven't structured the question as articulate as possible. And so as you kind of zone in on the subject matter, it can really help you help them with the answer they're looking for. Thirdly, if I get to the point where I realise actually I don't know the answer to your question, I'm quick to admit it. There's no shame in that. It actually helps them move on rather than keep re-prosecuting or interrogating the same idea when they realise you don't have the answer. But then to really make sure it's a constructive response, I think what we want to do as leaders is make sure that we commit to finding out the answer. And so that is in two parts. One, I give them as much information I have at the time, albeit an incomplete response. And then I go do the homework and the research, and I find out what the more full answer to that question would be. And in that, I'm not only helping them, I'm educating myself, and it's a great way of continuous learning around these key subjects. And so there's my response, my constructive response to the very common scenario of not having all the answers to the questions I get asked. I hope that helps you in the way you deal with those tricky questions this week. Enjoy.